Hi there everybody, Monday night again, right around 6:30. So welcome for I believe this is number 6 edition of Make It With Me Monday. I really hope that you guys had a very glorious Easter. We were lucky enough to celebrate with a small group of family up at our lake home this weekend, and the weather was absolutely gorgeous. Loved all the sunshine. The kids all got to play outside together for a really long time, and we had some great conversation, and of course always yummy food at the Filter House. So I just what a wonderful weekend, but kind of glad to be home. The kids had off school today, so we took an extra day and just relaxed up there for a while, and now we're gonna be home and back to routine. So I am gonna flip my camera up for a minute and get started on setting up. All right, hi Kathy. Hope you guys had a good Easter. Let me focus in a little bit there. Oop, where am I? Okay, that should be pretty good. Okay, so as some of you may have seen on my Facebook page this week, demonstrators have started to receive their new annual catalogs, which will start in May of 2021. I believe it is on the 4th of May, yep, and go through the end of April 2022. So we are super excited that there's some new things to order. We got a little bit, you don't have any sound. Am I muted for some reason? Can everybody else hear me? Let me know if there's anybody else who doesn't have sound, because otherwise, Carol, maybe it's on your end if you have something muted. I don't think I muted anything, but I'll double check. All right, so someone else can chime in and go, yeah, you can hear me. Let me know. All right, we'll take a look up here. I don't think anything's muted. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so Carol, double check on your end and see if your speakers are on. Something like that. So, all right. Anyway, back to catalog stuff. Okay, good. Glad you're back in. Okay. Like I said, us demonstrators have been lucky enough that we've received this so far. I'm going to zoom in just a touch more. And I've already been lucky enough to receive a pre-order already. So I was going to share with you guys tonight a sneak peek at the 5 new in colors that are coming. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, so I would like to introduce you to Polished Pink. It's kind of a brighter pink. It really reminds me, if you guys are longtime Stampin' Up! People, I get a little pixie pink vibe off of this, if you can remember that back that far. This is Pale Papaya. It's peachy, so I know it looks a little yellow on my screen, but it's more on the peachy side. And I would say it's kind of a touch between, the guava we used to have. It's a little lighter than that. And then this one is called Fresh Freesia. Really pretty light lavender color. Reminds me a little bit of either Lovely Lilac or Lavender Lace. Again, going back a number of years if you guys have been longtime Stampin' Up! Peoples. This one is called Soft Succulent. I would say this is a little along the lines of our current Mint Macaron. It's a little deeper and more in the sage tone of that. And then those of you who have been missing a really nice forest green, I would like to show you Evening Evergreens. I'm really glad to have this color back. It's a little bit more of like the forest foliage, not quite like artichoke, a little more foresty green than what we have had for a while. So I'll bring them up a little bit. So there are our 5 new in colors. And again, I know the camera doesn't quite do them justice, so I can't wait until you guys can have a sampling of these all in your own hands to play with. But I really kind of like the sampling. We have some lighter, dustier colors, and then I love the addition of this dark green color. I think that's going to be really great when we get into holiday crafting for and winter cards and anything with like tree lines and all that kind of stuff. This is going to be really nice. All right, so that was your peek at the new in colors. Now this catalog should be mailing out, I believe, in the second half of April. So if you don't have it by close to the end of April, shoot me a note and make sure that I know that. I have mailed out a bunch of them to you guys because I'm still not sure when we're going to be able to meet in person and that kind of thing. So most of you should receive this. If you've already been on my list for catalogs and such, you should be receiving this in the mail. If you don't have it, again, probably by near the end of April, send me a note. I'll be sure to get you one or drop one off on your porch if you're close by. And if you don't think you've ever gotten catalogs from me, again, shoot me a note, make sure I have your address, And when I get them, I will make sure to send more out to you guys. All right, so that is a little peek for everybody. And I'll have time hopefully to have some people hop on and get ready to stamp. So let me remind y'all what you should have handy. This is, I'm gonna actually lift it up a little bit. Okay, so you should have a piece of cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 and scored at 3 inches. And then you want the same color in 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Then you want a piece of coordinating cardstock, could be either a color or a neutral, totally up to you. That's 4 by 5 1/4. You want some sort of piece of designer series paper, pattern paper, that's 2 3/4 by 4. A second coordinating color of cardstock, that's 3 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And then a piece of neutral cardstock, 2 by 2. And of course, when I say neutral, I mean either white or vanilla based on your color choices and your DSP and that sort of thing. Some of them look better with white bases, some of them look a little better with vanilla bases. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I have tonight. My initial cardstock is Granny Apple Green, and there's my coordinating square. My coordinating cardstock is a neutral. I'm doing a 2 by 2, or a white in the 4 by 5 1/4. My DSP comes from the Brights collection of the DSP collections, and that is a Granny Apple Green polka dot pattern. That's the 2 3/4 by 4. My second coordinating color is Daffodil Delight. This is my 3 by 8 1/2. That's been scored at 4 1/4. And then of course my neutral again, white, for my 2 by 2. All right. And I think did I forget to write this one down? Nope, I did. Okay. All right. So there are all my pieces. All right. So the first thing we're going to start with is actually your stamping. So you are going to want to have, I asked you guys to have handy some stamps, small images and words that will fit on your little 2 by 2. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because this is going to be tinier. So I'm going to want to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. There we go. All right, the set I'm going to use tonight is from the beginner catalog, which a lot of you probably have never seen because most of you are pretty experienced stampers. So the cover looked like this, and there's a collection of just some very simple stamps in here and kits that go with them in order to make just some really cute little simple cards for a very beginning crafter. But I kind of fell in love with this little set. It's called Cute Fruit. The fruit itself, obviously cute, right? But what I like are the little smiley faces and the mustache guy. So I got those just to hang on to for future because I just like those little smiley faces. So I'm going to be using Cute Fruit tonight, and this is a set that is going to retire at the end of this month. So wanted to make sure I use that. So out of my Cute Fruit set, I'm going to use the outline of circle, I'm going to use the little smiley face, and I'm just going to use the word smile. All right, so I'm going to start with Daffodil Delight. So grab your little stamps and images and phrases. And oh, I'm sorry, I fibbed. I want to start with my word smile because I want to set that in so I can't miss it. Now you can see these guys are super duper tiny, and I want to make sure I don't lose them. Boop. Okay. So grab your 2 by 2 square and your tiny images and phrase, and just fill that square up. Okay. So there's my word smile. Take him off to clean later. All right, now I'm gonna do my outside circle smiley faces. And I'm just gonna randomly stamp these all over. If you have a small image, whatever you're using, or maybe you have kind of a larger image that fit that 2 by 2, whatever you are doing, fill that up. Maybe one more in the middle. That's not too bad. A little bit, I like to go over the edges. Kind of gives it the feeling of completion and not quite too much on point. All right, again, take that off. And I'm going to load up the smiley face and stamp that in Mango Melody. I always want to say medley for some reason, but it's melody. Okay, I put him inside all those little bits. So now I have these cute little smiley faces all over my 2 by 2. Okay, there we go. All right, my 2 by 2 is complete. I will give you a moment to catch up, and if you guys are ready to move on, just throw a couple thumbs up out there or something so that I know you've been in about the same space as me here. All right, so again, that's your 2 by 2 piece, and we're gonna end up layering that onto your 2 1/4 square piece. That should match your card base. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do that to mine. And again, you guys shoot me a couple little thumbs up or smiley faces or something that tells me you are in about the same place as me so that I don't get too far ahead of you. Normally we don't have quite this much stamping, it's more assembly first, but I wanted you guys to get this stamped before we try to put it on there because it's not going to be as easy to do later. All right, did everybody hopefully had a great Easter weekend? If you are in the Wisconsin area where we are, we had some beautiful weather for a change, which is absolutely wonderful and love to see it. All right, so hopefully you guys are in about the same place here. Okay, now we're gonna do a little bit of assembly. So you're gonna wanna take your card base, that is the 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and it should be scored at 3 inches. So fold that part over and give that a really nice crease, okay? Now this is now basically the inside of the card, and you're gonna take that piece of 4 by 5 1/4, whether it was neutral or color, and we're gonna layer that on the inside. So adhesive for you guys, whoops. There we go. It's being a little stubborn. All right, so put your 4 by 5 1/4 piece on the inside. Whoops, it was sticking to my finger. All right, so now it should kind of look like this. You have your little 3-inch piece that folds over. Okay. Next, we're gonna take that piece of designer series paper, pattern paper, whatever you had, that was the 2 3/4 by 4. That's gonna layer on that 3-inch piece that we folded over. All right, so, that was the other side of my DSP. The color family DSP comes in 2 different patterns per color and then double-sided. So this polka dot one had kind of, we always kind of refer to this as a denim because it just has kind of a blue jean look to it. And in case you didn't notice, in the retiring list, they're going to do all new color family DSPs next year. So we're going to have new patterns to play with, which will be kind of fun. Okay, so your DSP should go on the front flap. And give me a shout out if you are right about there. All right, hit your little thumbs up or something. Hopefully you guys are in that same space there. All right, now you have your coordinating cardstock that was 3 by 8 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. So basically it's like folding it in half, okay? So you wanna do that a little bit. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put adhesive on the back side of it and it's going to fit into the card like so. So you wanna center it on that panel in the back. That's the 4 by 5 1/4. And then you're gonna open it and close it and close it. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. So on the back, you want the adhesive. Make sure the opening goes to the left. The crease is over here. Put that about in the center of your inside panel, like so. Okay, so you've got the part that folded that way and then that way. I did do some searching. I tried to figure out what this fold is called and I really couldn't come up with anything specific. So we're just gonna say that this was a fun fold because that's exactly what we did. Now, if you have a colored cardstock here and you don't want to stamp or write on this particular part, you could take another piece of white or neutral to the inside there. And that piece, I believe, I can't remember what I measured it at, but I can give you, I'll put the dimension on, oh wait, this should be 3 by 4 1/4. So this is gonna be 2 3/4 by 4. So this white piece here is 2 3/4 by 4. Same size as the DSP that we put on the front. And that can go right in there if you decide you want to stamp or write in the center if you have something that's not a neutral color right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that for me. Okay, now at this point, if you brought in any embellishments like ribbon, twine, gems, rhinestones, pearls, whatever, you can add them around anywhere you'd like. But basically to finish it off, you're gonna take that square that you had and you can put it anywhere on here that you like. So if you have some embellishments like a ribbon, you could put it to one side and do your ribbon this way. You could have your little rhinestone things going over there. So for now, I'm just gonna put mine in the center, but I am gonna pop mine up with dimensionals. And then I have another one that I've stepped up for you guys, so I'll show you that one in just a second. So I took the basics of what I did here and I just added a few more of those, like I said, the embellishment stuff. So it stepped up just a little bit, and I'll show you what the difference is there. All right, so my little square goes right in there. Okay, so you've kind of got this fun little fold that opens a couple different ways. So I'll show you a stepped up version. So the changes to this that I made is on the edge of my pattern, or my layer in there, I added some more of the Designer Series paper. I also added a layer of Designer Series paper in Daffodil. That's very tone on tone. To that layer there, I added my daffodil ribbon around it, and I used some of the dots from the Playing with Patterns dots. I believe they're actually a crushed curry color, supposedly, but they blend in pretty nicely with several shades of yellow. So I thought those made a nice little change in there. And then I added one little smiley face to the inside of my card. Okay, so you can feel free to take those same images that you brought in from the front, add them to the inside, add them to your envelope, either on the out or the flap. You could repeat the DSP on the envelope flap. That's always a fun thing too. All right, so there you have, again, the most simple version. So cute, right? Depending, especially with what you guys are using. I bet it's absolutely adorable. Make sure you take pictures and share them with me. And there's my stepped up version. Okay, I want to show you where I got the inspiration for this fold. I've actually done it a couple of times. I got this in a swap recently, and this is using some of the retiring elements from the strawberries paper from Celebration, the strawberry stamp set, which I believe that the stamp set itself is carrying over. So here again, same fold, same concept, and they did a really cute, with their layering, they used the scallop squares, so the edgings of this have a cute little border. They used one of our lace vellum dye, or vellum, what do they call those? Vellum, oh my gosh, drawing a total blank. All right, now that's gonna bother me. Doily, there we go. Vellum doily is on the back of that. And then a couple of pearls. And again, like I said, I've used this fold before when I was in a group retreat recently. Actually, I think it was in fall, which is why these are the fall plaids that we don't have. They were in the fall mini catalog. I did these two. So same measurements, but a lot more DSP involved. So there is DSP on the front flap. There is DSP on that flap. And there is DSP as the base inside. So that 4 by 5 1/4 piece is also DSP. So lots and lots of plaids there that make that for a really fun pattern. And then same thing with this one. Lots of DSP involved, same thing on the inside, on the flap. And this is from the goat set. So happy birthday, you old goat. I got you a cake, but I ate it. I think that one's kind of funny. All right, so there are a couple, like I said, stepped up versions of that. Let me just make sure. Okay. Yep, I haven't seen any more comments come through. Okay, good. All right, so there are a couple, again, stepped up versions. Here's my inspiration piece. That was a swap from Julie Barclay. So this is a really super fun little fold. You can use this in lots of different ways. And depending on what you're doing, you could also try to play with flipping it the other way. Make it a vertical card instead of a horizontal card. That could be really fun to play with as well. And then here's the one I just did for you guys on camera, and then the stepped up version as well. Okay, so now when this goes, I'll put the thread on there with the pictures from tonight. I'll add them into the album on my Facebook page. And if you want to share yours, just take a snapshot of it and upload it into the thread that talks about tonight's episode. And I hope to see what you guys have created. Super, super fun. All right, so thank you guys for spending the last 20 minutes with me. Hopefully this all went well. I know I had a little glitch earlier, and I'm hoping that continued without issue. But I will also be uploading that to YouTube. All right, I wanted to share a couple more samples with the cute fruit. So here's your one in a melon. And wishing you a slice of happiness. So here what I did is I took the mason jar punch. Joyce, I have a post that I make and I pin it to the top of the page that tells you what you need. And then also if you go to the event that I set up specifically for that Monday night, there should be that same images there as well. So if you don't see it, shoot me a message and I'll make sure that you can find it. Okay, so what I did with this one is I did the mason jar punch with vellum and did a little embossing on it, and then it looks like it's got laminated there because I sponged it with the yellow color. Isn't that cool? And then there's limes in there, so it's a lemon limeade, I guess. And then here's my cute little smiley face guy again. And I just did kind of like a rainbow theme, repeating that little circle all over, but just with one of the little smiles. All right, so again, if you're interested, that is a cute fruit. And he is in, I don't know, are stamp sets, you know, masculine or feminine? Sometimes it feels like they are. There's your information, cute fruit in the beginner catalog. Any questions at all, again, you guys can add them into here. You can message me, leave them on the Facebook page, send me an email. You guys know all kinds of ways to find me. So if any of that piques your interest, you have questions about any of it, let me know. And I hope to see you guys again next Monday. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.